bodies. Make sure you're sitting flat. Crisscross applesauce. You can just put your hands in your lap. Put your eyes on our learning target. Whisper, read it with me. I can make connections to understand a text. This is a new learning target, guys. The strategy that we're going to be working on is called Make Connections. And I'm wondering, though, if you know about this word text. Some kids think it's like texting on a phone, but a text is just something that you read. So, for example, my text today is going to be a book. Sometimes the text I read is a magazine or a newspaper. Think about a text that you read. What is something that you read? And whisper it to your partner. Can you text me? Paper. Show 5. Safi, what is a text that you read? A comic book. How about you, Marianne? Books. Lots of books.
Cookbooks.
A cookbook. Ooh, I like to read cookbooks for our kids. Anything else, Elizabeth?
Text. A text message.
A text message. That is a text. A text message on a cell phone. Anything else? I'll take one more, Jaquarius.
Stories.
Stories. And you might see those stories on a computer. You might see them in a book. You might just see them on a piece of paper. So boys and girls, follow me with your eyes. We're going to look at the cafe menu. Keep your bodies where they're at. Just put your eyes over here. So our new strategy is going to help us understand what we read. That strategies make connections. Can you say that with me? Make connections. We've already talked about how good readers check for understanding. They read, they stop and they think about what happened, and then they retell. We talked about how if you're reading and you don't know what you just read, you can back up and reread. And we've talked about the 5-finger retell. Characters, setting, beginning, middle, end. So our new strip, Make Connections, is going to go right under here. Eyes back on our board. So my chart says, good readers make connections. There are 3 kinds of connections, but we're just going to talk about one. One kind of connection is called text to self. So remember we talked about a text is a comic book, a cookbook, anything that you read. And so here's a picture of my book. There are the words. And it's reminding me of something that I have done before or something that I've seen. So today we're going to work on text-to-self connections. Can you read that with me? Text-to-self connections. I'm going to show you how we do that. So when you're talking about connections, these are the words you could use. You could say, oh, that reminds me of something I've done before because. Or you could say, oh, the bear in that story reminds me of a bear that I saw once. Okay? So listen to how I do it. I'm going to show you a few times, then you're going to practice with your partner. Okay? This is called When This Box is Full by Patricia Lilly. There's my title page. Look at all those boxes. When this box is full, I wonder what they're going to put in there. This box is empty, but not for long. I will fill it with a snowman scarf. But I notice up here it says January. So looking at the scarf reminds me of winter because I wear one when it's cold outside. a red foil heart, and a robin's feather. I'm noticing there's months over here. January, February, March. The heart reminds me of Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day happens in February. January, February, March, April. It says a purple eggshell. Well, an egg reminds me of Easter that I celebrate with my kids because we decorate eggs. It's going to be your turn in just a second. January, February, March, April, May, June. A wild daisy, helicopters from the maple tree. So now in the box, there is the scarf, the red foil heart, an egg, a feather, helicopters, and a daisy. Think in your brains for a second. Maybe there's something in this picture that you have a connection to, that it reminds you. Oh, I see you're making those silent connections. So get that in your brain, and you're going to take turns with your partner. You could say, the, whatever it is, reminds me of, and then if you can tell them why, do that too. So put up one finger when you have one idea, one connection. Two fingers when you have two ideas. Choose one and whisper to your partner. So turn and tell your partner your connection. This reminds me of, that reminds me of, what do you see in here? What does the purple remind you of? Dalton, is there anything in this picture that reminds you of something? I know you see it. There's a foil heart. There's a scarf. There's a purple egg. There's a flower and there's colors. What does it remind you of? Show 5. Raise a quiet hand if you can share out and tell me what connection you have. Christopher, can you use this? The
Summer.
what reminds you of summer?
Flower.
Okay, so you could say the flower reminds me of summer because. Why does that remind you of summer? The flowers grow, right? Right. Elizabeth, can you try this?
The heart reminds me of Valentine's Day because it's my favorite time of the year.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? Tessa? Reminds me of.
Spring.
Because.
Because they need to plant seeds.
Awesome. Hands down, listen carefully. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. A seashell and some sand. The sand reminds me of summer because I like to go to the beach with my kids. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It says a ribbon from the fair. This doesn't remind me so much of the fair, but it reminds me of my son. He won a ribbon at swimming. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Take a peek at all the things on this page and in the box. See if you can come up with one more connection. Whisper into your heart. The reminds. What does it remind you? Yes, this is what happens in the fall.
Winter.
Yes. Show 5. So Marianne said, the leaves remind me of fall because winter's coming and the leaves change colors. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Toasted pumpkin seeds. I'm already thinking that this reminds me of Halloween. Is that right, to carve a pumpkin? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, a wishbone, and a silver star. And then I will share it with you.
What's a wishbone?
So boys and girls, your job today during Daily 5, if you are reading to someone, or you're reading to self, or you're listening to reading, is to see if you can make a connection. Maybe you're reading something, and then you could stop and think, oh, that part reminds me of something I've done before, just like we practiced here. And when I meet with kids, I'm going to see if they can come up with connections as well. Anything that we need to